Hi everyone, this is Rosa Kelly. I am here today with a brand new tutorial, so let's get right to it. So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to get started with a brand new project, and this is going to be a mini album Christmas theme. I'm so excited. This is going to be my first Christmas album of the season. And so we are going to be using the Let It Snow paper collection by Cartabella, and this is a design team project for JS Hobbies and Crafts. I will have the link to the store and all the supplies that you see here on the description box below. So let's get right to the tutorial. So we are going to start with two pieces of chipboard, and we are going to cut them at 8 by 10, and these are going to be our covers. So we're going to need two pieces of 8 by 10. So then we're going to need a piece of 10 inches by 2 inches. So that's 2 by 10, and I want the spine to be narrow because I want these to feel more like a book than like an album. Okay, so now I have these three pieces, and I'm going to join them using some Tyvek. So I'm just reusing that envelope here that I got from the mail. So I'm just going to cut, and this material is called Tyvek. I think I just said it. And I'm just gonna cut a piece wide enough to hold my spine and these two pieces. And the only reason why I'm doing this step this time compared to other times is because I know this is a Christmas book. I kind of want it to feel like a storybook on your hands, and I know you're probably gonna get a lot of movement, especially with little kids that love to flip the pages around. So that's why I'm using the Tyvek to give it a little bit more strength. So I'm just adding some glue, as you can see, and I am going to place this right on the center. And this piece is probably about 4 inches wide. I just got a random piece, and I'm going to place the next one right on the side here. I'm gonna leave a little gap in between the two, and this gap is probably about 1/8 of an inch wide. Now you can use a ruler to make sure that you are placing this nice and straight on the edge, and then I'm just gonna fold this down, and I'm going to do the same on this side. If you don't have this Tyvek material, you can do this step with a piece of cardstock. Make sure that you're using lightweight cardstock so it's not too, what do you want to say, too thick, and then it will start cracking when you fold it. All right, so I'm gonna place this one right on top. Again, I'm leaving 1/8 of an inch gap in between, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is just trim off the remaining of the Tyvek material. We're just gonna take that out, and I'm gonna do the same on this other side, just like that. And then I'm going to grab the other piece, and I'm gonna glue it right on top because I want to add these on both sides. Okay, so we're gonna add the glue, and you can definitely use tape as well if you prefer to use tape. So make sure you have a nice amount of glue here, and then some glue on this side. So probably about 1 inch again of glue on each side. Okay, so I think that's enough. And I'm gonna place the other Tyvek piece right in here. And so let me just press this down, just like that. Okay, and again, I'm gonna trim off the extra, just like that. And this one as well. So now I'm just gonna mark on these little gaps. Let me find it here with this tool, and we're just gonna press down so we can fold without making a bubble. So here we go. Okay, so now we have the base of the book put together, but we are going to add some cardstock here, and you can see that this is very, very strong and it's not going anywhere. So now I'm going to use 2 pieces of cardstock. Now these are 12 by 12 and these are 80-pound cardstock, and I'm just going to join these two together. So let me take my base out here for a minute, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue right here on the side so we can join them together. So we're gonna place this one right on top here, just like that. And now we're going to add this down. Now remember, we mark one of the sides, so we're gonna turn that to the other side, the one that is the back, and we're gonna add some double-sided tape to add this into the cardstock. And that is just because sometimes with the glue you get some bubbles, you know, some air in between, so I'd rather do the tape. So I'm going to cover everything with tape, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all the double-sided tape added, and now I'm just gonna make sure that it is down really good. And also make sure to not add tape right on your bending point. So see these 2 bending points? So you don't want tape on these lines right there. Okay, so now I'm just going to start peeling off my tape, and we're gonna place it down. So for that, I'm just gonna use my handy tool here, and I'm just gonna peel it off from one side, and then we'll continue with the spine and the other side. Okay, so I removed the tape from one of the sides, and now we're just gonna place this down on the cardstock. So we're gonna make sure that the spine is centered with the joint piece there, just like so. And also make sure it's centered up and down. And then I'm just gonna press down on this side, just like that. And then I'm gonna turn this and continue taking off my tape. Okay, so now we have the piece added, and we're just gonna start folding our cardstock very gently here on the sides. First I'm going to do the longer sides, and you kind of just want to massage the paper until you finally bend it all the way. Otherwise it might crack, so you might want to prevent that. So then I'm just gonna press down, as you can see, and then I'm going to do the same with the other side. And then we're also going to bend the smaller sides. Now before I do that, I'm going to just trim this. You only want about 1 inch on each of the sides. So we're gonna take that one out, and I'm gonna take this one out as well. Okay, and now we can go ahead and bend, and then we're gonna take out the corners like so, and you want to make sure to stay away from your chipboard about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and I'm just doing the same for all the sides, just like that. And now we're just going to add our double-sided tape all along each one of the sides. Okay, so now I have my tape on all the sides, and we're going to start with the longer sides, and we're just gonna peel off the tape, and we're gonna bend the piece down. And since we have already marked where we're going to fold, it's nice and easy. So I'm also going to make sure this is down all the way, and I'm gonna do the same with this side. So we're just gonna take that out, and then we're gonna press this down just like that, and then I'm gonna make sure this is nice and glued down in there. Okay, so now we're going to do the same with the smaller sides. Now for this one, I like to tack in the little corners so you don't get that pointy edge. And I just do this with my nails, but you can definitely use your score tool or anything you have. So I just go and bend that a little bit. Now on this one, I'm going to add just a little glue because this one's a little bit wider, and I don't like all that empty space. So I'm just gonna add some glue in here, and then we're just gonna take off the tape, and we're gonna press this down, and I'm just gonna make sure it's nice and secure. And we are going to do the same on the other side. Okay, so and before you bend these, we are going to mark here where we have our little gaps. We're gonna mark this piece and fold it, and do the same on these sides. You will feel where the gap is from your chipboard, and then we're gonna bend just like so. And now we have our base. Oh, I love how it feels. It looks like an old book. It feels really nice. Okay, so now let's work on the hinges. So for the hinges, I'm going to cut a piece at 9 inches, and this measures 12 inches. So we are now going to bring our scoreboard. Okay, so for this album, we are going to have 3 hinges, and we're gonna have a 1/2 inch gusset in between. So for the first one, I'm just going to start on 2 inches, and I'm going to do a 3/4 inch mark for the first hinge. So we're going to score at 2 3/4 and 3 1/2. Okay, and then we're going to do 1/2 inch for the hinges, for the gusset. And so we're gonna score at 4 inches, just like so. And then we're going to do the next hinge. So this is going to be 4 3/4 and 5 1/2. And then we're going to do 6 inches. Then we're going to work on hinge number 3. So this is going to be 6 3/4 and 7 1/2. Okay, and then I'm just gonna mark here at 10, and this is where I'm going to shrink my paper. Okay, because I only like having about 2 inches on each side. This is probably a little bit more than 2 inches, but that's fine. Okay, so now we have a piece that looks like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to join the 2 3/4 inches together from either one of the edges. So we're gonna do these 2 3/4. We're gonna skip the 1/2 inch, and we're gonna do the next 2. We're gonna pinch this, kind of like we're making little heels, as you can see here. So we're making these little valleys, just like that. And we have the 3rd hinge, just like so. Okay, so now we're gonna fold this, and let's make sure that we give it a good crease. Okay, so I'm working with 80-pound cardstock. I normally do this with 65-pound cardstock because the cardstock is more flexible. but 80 pound will do just fine. And also I want to match the same color as my cover, so I'm going to bring these to the other side just to make sure the hinges are flexible, and then I'm also going to press. So we're gonna bring these to both sides, as I said. So I'm just gonna give it one more here. Okay, so now I'm gonna open these up, and we're gonna place our double-sided tape on one of the sides here for each one of these hinges. Okay, so we're gonna do one, and then we're gonna do hinge number 2, just like that. Take that out, and the last one as well. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna make sure the tape is down really good without any air bubbles, and then we're going to remove the tape and join it together, just like that. Same thing with the second one. Remove the tape, join together, and remove the tape, and we join together. And we're gonna press this down one more time. So that is the back, and now we're gonna look at the front, and we have our 3 hinges like so. Cute. Okay, so now I'm going to add double-sided tape in here before we add this into the book. So I'm just gonna place the tape on both sides of each one of the hinges. So I'm gonna turn this to the other side and place the tape. And notice that I'm putting the tape closest to the outside edge. Okay, and I'm just going to repeat the same for each one. Okay, so now I have here my base and my hinges. Now I haven't added any glue in here yet because I want to show you. When we place these, you want to center your 3 hinges with your spine, so you'll see the marks here from the score that we did. So you want to make sure to center it. You also want to center it up and down. Okay, so that's how we're going to place it. So you can use this, you can use tape or glue for this step. So I like using glue to add my spine. I think that it lasts longer, you know, on the long run. And so we're just gonna make sure to add a lot of glue. Okay, so I have all the glue here, and like I said, we're going to center it and make sure we also center it up and down, and then we're gonna place this down. And that's another good thing about using glue. You have about a second to adjust and move compared to tape. Tape is kind of like a one-time type of transaction. Okay, so I'm just gonna press this down. Now don't bend your book yet until we are sure that the glue is completely dry. Otherwise, you're gonna start seeing some air bubbles in there. So I'm just gonna give it a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to use my ruler to help me see where my score lines are on the top and the bottom here of the bending points. And I'm just going to mark very lightly on the cardstock, and make sure that you don't make these too strong because you will sometimes break your cardstock. And I've done it, and I actually done it recently on an album that I did, and I had to start over because once you have a hole on this side, then there's no way to cover that. Well, maybe you could add some lace to cover that, but I wasn't going for a lace type of look. So yeah, so just be careful when you do this step. Okay, so then I'm just gonna press this. Oops, here we go. Very light. So it's better to go like a few times very light than go one time and make a hole. Okay, so now that I have those lines, I'm gonna use my ruler again to help me, and I'm gonna press down there on the line and then just bend. Just like that, a little bit at a time, and there we go. And then I'm going to do the same here, but I'm gonna turn this around because I hold this ruler better with my right hand. So again, so I'm just gonna start bringing this over just like so. Okay, so to finish up the cover, I'm going to cut 2 pieces of cardstock, and we are going to cut these at 7 3/4 by 9 3/4. Okay, so right there. So I have these 2 pieces, and these will go on either one of the sides of the inside of the book. And the purpose of this, I mean, you can of course cover it straight with your cardstock paper, but I really like adding these 2 pieces to support my hinges here. So it is a very important piece of the puzzle to add these 2 pieces in. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue these pieces down, and you just want to center this. There we go. And we're gonna do the same on this other side. Okay, so now we're just gonna press this down and make sure that the glue is spread and there's no air bubbles in between. Okay, so we are done with the base, and I think the album feels really good in your hands. It feels really sturdy, so I'm very happy with how that turned out. So now let's pick some paper to start adding for our cover. So let me bring the collection here, and even if you want to decorate your cover at the end, which is totally fine, always select your papers first, because you tend to forget, and then last thing you know is you are left with no pieces to do your cover. So let me just quickly look at the different pieces. Now I have these beautiful blue flowers that I want to do on my cover, so I just want to make sure that the paper I choose complements the look that I want to go for. Okay, so I think I want this piece as the main background, and I definitely want to use these cute snowmen as a statement on the front. And then I was looking at this page, and I really like this piece that says walking in a winter wonderland. So I think this is going to be like the title of my book, but I'll probably cut it in pieces so to spread it around the cover. All right, so that's the plan. We'll see how that looks, and then I'm going to pick a design for the back as well. So I think for the back I'm going to use this one because it really catches my eye. I love it. Okay, so now these pieces for the covers are going to be cut at 7 3/4 by 9 3/4. So I'm going to start with the back, which is, you know, a lot easier to do. So make sure that your orientation is right. I want this to be the longer side, so the mittens look upright. And then I'm going to do 7 3/4. So we have the first piece. Now the snowflake is going to be cut at the same size, and this one, the orientation doesn't really matter too much. So I'm just gonna start with 7 3/4 by 9 3/4. So here we go. We have these 2 pieces, and then let me go ahead and cut out the snowman here. Okay, so I have my 3 pieces, and I'm going to add this one here, but I feel like I need a border piece. So let me pick another piece of paper, and I think it will look nicer if we do like a blue edge around, like give it a little border. So I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm going to cut another piece here, and I might have to trim these sides a little bit smaller, but so we're gonna do again 7 3/4 by 9 3/4. Okay, so now this is going to be the background, just to get that border, and then we're gonna add this one on top. But because I don't want to waste all of my design paper that is going to be covered, I am going to just get a border out. So I'm going to cut a big square, and I'm just going to give it a 1-inch frame here, and I think that should be enough. So I'm gonna go from 1 inch to like, I don't know, like 1 inch away from the edge, and just cut this piece out. That way we can still utilize some of this paper instead of covering the whole thing. Okay, so we're going to add the frame just to get that border around, and then this one I'm going to cut a little bit smaller. So we're going to trim this down to 7.5 by 9.5. Okay, so let's see how this looks. All right, so I'm gonna put that on the side, and this is going to be down first, and then this one will be on top, and we're gonna get that pretty blue border around. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue the first piece. Now this is moving a little bit, so let me add something here to make it sturdy and strong. So I'm just going to glue this border. Okay, so let's do that. And just do glue all around here and the top. Okay, so now we're gonna place this on the center. Okay, so just like that. And now I'm ready to add my main piece down here. Okay, so I'm just gonna add my glue again. And even this paper is so pretty. Like, I really love all the designs, and I love the colors. They're so different. Okay, so again, I'm gonna place this right here. And this paper doesn't have to be like a Christmas. It could just simply be a winter album. So I love it. Okay, doesn't that look so nice with the little border? And we have this piece to play with, so we can even add another layer in here if we wanted to, and then we can add the snowman on the top. Okay, so first I want to find that piece that I want to cut around. So I'm going to fussy cut around the text. Okay, so I have the two pieces that I fussy cut out, and I'm thinking I'm probably gonna keep this on the center, and then we'll do walking in a winter wonderland, and then we'll add the cute snowman on the center. Now I have plans for this guy because I am going to be using the glossy accents to make this look like an actual snow glove. What this does, it's give it that the feel that it kind of looks like glass. Okay, so first I'm going to fussy cut around the image. So I'm gonna try to go really careful so the circle looks like a circle. So I'm just gonna go really slow. Okay, so I have my piece here and I'm going to just put this down there, and we are going to use our glossy accents and just basically go everywhere here where the circle is, and we're just gonna spread these around and make sure to not leave any air bubbles in between. Just try to go as even as you can. So here's my snow glove, and I'm just gonna let this dry now, and I don't know if you can see how shiny it is. I really love that effect, so I'm gonna put this on the side. Okay. So now we're gonna continue here. I'm going to use my scrap pieces of chipboard, and I'm just gonna cut a piece here to add on the back of this other piece to give it a little volume. So I'm going to start with this one. Oh, I like this design. I wonder if that, no. Okay, so now I'm just gonna glue this down. And I like using my chipboard to give volume and, you know, to the different layers. So I'm gonna add one there, and then I'm going to cut another one here. And it doesn't have to be exact. I'm not really measuring. I'm just going to make sure that it covers the whole area. So I think this should be fine. There we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna glue this one down as well. And we're gonna place that here. And then we're gonna glue this whole thing down on the cover. Okay. So we're just gonna place it on the center. Okay. And then I'm also going to add some chipboard into the text just to bring it up a little bit. So again, I'm just using my scrap pieces, and I just got this piece a little bit narrow so it will fit and won't show. And I'm gonna do the same with this one. This one's a little bit bigger, so I can use this bigger piece. And maybe I need to cut that little corner, and there we go. Okay. And I also prefer using chipboard instead of foam tape or foam dots, because this will cover most of the area, as you can see, and it will lay flat and strong. And sometimes when we do the little foam pieces, there's a lot of air in between, and this starts getting all wobbly. Okay, so as I wait for my snowman, my snow glove to dry, I'm just gonna add these pieces. So we're gonna put one down here. Okay, and we're gonna do this one on the top. Just like that. So cute. And then I'm going to turn this around, and we're going to add the back piece. Now the back piece, I am just going to make it simple and just glue it down. Okay, so here we go. I love this paper, so cute. Okay. All right, it's coming together. And so now for the spine, I'm going to add another piece of paper as well, but let me see. For this one, since it's such a narrow piece, I'll probably just work with my scrap pieces. So I could use the same mittens, or we can actually use the reverse and use the blue. Yeah. So I'm gonna cut this piece. This should be 9 3/4 by 1 3/4. So here we go. And so we have one long piece, and I'm still trying to decide. Maybe I'll just use the blue. Okay, so I'm just gonna glue this down. Okay, so we have that piece. Okay, so now I'm going to bring my little snow globe and I'm going to glue it. I don't think this is quite dry yet, but I think I can go ahead and just glue it flat in here. And I'm just gonna put it on the center. And just like that. And just poke it down and then I can, there you go, perfect. So I'm gonna wait for that to dry, but I of course want to decorate the cover with some of these beautiful flowers. Look how pretty these are. I love. And these are two different sets that I combine, and I'm also using the leaves here, and I'm having everything linked down below if you want to check out the flowers. But I think they're absolutely gorgeous, so I'm just going to separate them here. And okay, maybe I need to do it in pieces. Here we go. I love the blue color, goes with the collection so well, and they're like winter flowers too. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so I have all these different pieces to work with, and I was thinking on doing like a beautiful flower spread here on the side, kind of like going up. So I'm just gonna play around with my flowers, and then I'm also going to add some of the leaves here. Okay, maybe I'll put them there, and we're just going to create a beautiful flower waterfall. Here we go, we're done adding our beautiful flowers. Oh my goodness, these flowers are so beautiful, and the color is so delicate. I know it's looking a little bit darker on the video, but it is so pretty. So I think I am at a good stopping point for today. I hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial. Don't forget to check out the store on the description box down below, as well as all the supplies that you'll need to make this mini album. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get a reminder of my next tutorial. I'll be back next time, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.